Hi guys, my name is Luke Endo, and in this video I will be going over how to start up your 3D printer and how to start your first print. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you start your print is obviously load your filament. So right here I have the filament that I want to use today, and all the printers in this lab are already going to have filament loaded in from the previous prints. So what you want to do is you want to go here to the menu, you're going to click on the knob. It'll take you to the menu screen, and you scroll down with the knob until you get to unload filament. Once you click this button, if it is already preheated, it will unload the filament automatically. Otherwise, you will have to wait until the extruder heats up. So right now it's telling me to press the knob to unload filament once it has heated up all the way. So I will just press the knob. Once you hear the beep, you can take the filament out and you will load your new filament in. Ready? So to load our filament, the first thing I like to do is to clip off the end just using our hands, because the end can be a little weird sometimes. So I just do this with my hands. I just got to bend it a couple times and do little twists, and it should just come right off. And then you take the end of your filament and you bring it into this hole at the top of the extruder. And your printer should auto load if it has preheated already. Otherwise, down here you will get a prompt that it is telling you that your printer is preheating. So once your filament starts to come out the end, your printer will give you this message right here, which says filament extrusion with correct color. If you see that your filament is not coming out with the right color, you can scroll to no, and it will keep extruding more filament until the right color starts to come out. In our case, we see the right color coming out, so we can just click yes. Okay, so when you load your filament in, it is very crucial to check what type of filament you are using. Usually the filament that we have here in the lab is going to be PLA filament. As you can see on this one, it tells you the temperatures that we like to use. It is anywhere in between 190 degrees to 220 degrees Celsius, and the bed temperature should be around 60 degrees Celsius. Sometimes we have filament that isn't PLA though. As you can see right here, it's called PETG. This filament likes to have a nozzle temp of somewhere around 250 plus or minus 10 degrees, and a bed temp of 80 degrees plus or minus 10 degrees. So if we have a different filament, when we put it in to load, when we put right here, the Prusa machine will ask you what type of filament you are loading. And sometimes, as you can see, there isn't a choice for this PETG filament. So what we want to do is we want to find a heat that is similar to the heat needed. So in this case, this PET or ASA is the closest. I use the PET just because it's close to bed temperature. And when we load it in, it'll be a close enough temperature that it melts the filament enough that it can load. So one more thing I like to do if I put in a different type of filament than the preset is, when we start the print, for example, if I just take the first print on here, when I start the print, I can go to the menu and I can go to the tune option. Once I'm at the tune option, I like to go to nozzle, crank that up to whatever the heat was. Let's say if it was 240, I'd put it at 240. And then the bed temp, since it was 80, I would crank this all the way up until it goes to 80. And that way I can have the preset be whatever I want it to be. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is to clean your print bed. So to clean your print bed, you can just take your print bed off like this. It's put on with a magnet, so you can just peel it off like this. And you're going to want to take some acetone. You can ask Miss Simon or John in the Fab Lab for some acetone. And you take a paper towel and just dab a little bit onto the paper towel. So once you have that, you're going to take your print bed and you're just going to slightly wipe over the whole print bed like this until it is clean. And then you can put your print bed back onto the printer. These little notches right here are going to line up with these metal brackets up at the top right here. So you just slide it back until it hits the notches and you bring it back down. Okay, so once you have loaded your filament in, your print bed is clean, you can take the SD card that you put your file into, and there is a slot on the side right here that you put the SD card into. You would think the SD card goes in with the top facing you, but this is a strange machine, so it goes in backwards. So you want the back to face you, and you Just slide it in like this. Once you put it in, it will tell you sorting files, and then to get to your file, if you're already on the menu, you can click the button, go to the menu screen, and then you can go to print from SD, and all your files will be here, and you can just scroll through using your knob. Once you have the print that you want, you can click on it with the knob, and your printer will automatically start printing it once it has heated up and calibrated by itself.